Hey everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Mark here, definitely interested in what's unfolding in the AMI space.
And Jenny here, trying to keep up with Mark's interest levels. Seriously though, there's some fascinating stuff happening with Ilya Sutskever's new venture, Safe Superintelligence, or SSI.
Oh man, this is intriguing. So, Ilya, one of the, significant figures from OpenAI, left to start this company dedicated purely to building safer, super intelligent AI. Now they're getting notable backing from large corporations.
Right? I saw the news about Alphabet, Google's parent company, and Nvidia investing. That's a considerable development, isn't it? Especially for a company that hasn't even, demonstrated a working model yet.
It is. It's a major step. And it suggests something quite interesting about where influential tech companies perceive the future of AI heading. It seems it's not solely about who can release the next iteration of a conversational AI most quickly.
Okay, wait, let me try to understand this. So, SSI is focusing purely on safer superintelligence. What precisely does that entail, and how does it differ from, say, OpenAI's approach with ChatGPT or Anthropic's work?
Here's a key point about SSI. They aren't pursuing immediate commercial products. Their sole objective is that longer-term aim of constructing AI considerably more capable than humans, but doing it with a focus on safety, building in safety and alignment from the very beginning. It's this focused, perhaps more research-oriented strategy, compared to the more balanced research plus product development you observe at other organizations.
So it's like they're laying the groundwork for a very large structure, and others are constructing buildings already in use?
That's a good way to put it. And the investment aspect adds another layer of interest. We're observing this pattern where it's not times a matter of providing venture capital to startups anymore. It's increasingly about strategic alliances, particularly concerning computational resources.
That's noteworthy. But how does that partnership materialize between SSI and Alphabet?
This is where some of the technical details become significant. So you have Nvidia, which largely leads the market with their GPUs. Right? Many entities are using them, but Alphabet, and specifically Google Cloud, possess their own hardware. Tensor processing units, or TPUs.
TPUs. Okay, wait, could we elaborate on that? How are TPUs distinct from GPUs, and why would SSI consider concentrating on them?
Consider it like this. GPUs function somewhat like multi-purpose processors. They excel with visual tasks. But they are also quite effective for the parallel processing required for AI model training. TPUs, however, are specifically designed for machine learning computation. They can exhibit greater efficiency for certain categories of AI training processes.
Okay, so TPUs are more specialized? Somewhat like a tailored garment compared to ready-to-wear?
Precisely. And the arrangement between SSI and Alphabet involves SSI obtaining substantial access to Google Cloud's TPUs. This extends beyond just financial investment. It's an infrastructure collaboration. It essentially integrates SSI into the Google ecosystem for their compute requirements.
That's substantial. So it's not simply about the funding, it's about gaining access to the specialized hardware, and Alphabet potentially secures a prominent user for their cloud and TPU infrastructure?
That's the strategic component for both organizations. SSI gains the significant computational resources necessary for pursuing superintelligence research, which demands considerable processing power. And Google Cloud acquires a high-profile collaborator who is pushing the frontiers of AI utilizing their hardware platform. Darren Mowry, who manages partnerships at Google Cloud, remarked, "With these foundational model builders, the gravitational pull towards us is intensifying notably."
A shift in gravity. Ooh, I can anticipate our listeners considering the implications here. Does this suggest that progression in advanced AI development could become more closely tied to specific hardware providers? For instance, if you aim to develop a particular kind of advanced AI, you might need to work through Google or Amazon, who has a comparable arrangement with Anthropic and their Trainium chips.
That's indeed a primary question, isn't it? On the one hand, these collaborations potentially accelerate research by granting startups access to advanced technology. On the other hand, it could potentially concentrate significant portions of this advanced AI development within a select few large corporations. It prompts considerations about competitive dynamics and accessibility for smaller entities who lack those types of connections.
And furthermore, the circumstance that Nvidia is also investing in SSI, even though SSI is relying on Google's TPUs. That appears like it might not align?
Initially, it might seem so. But Nvidia is adept. They lead the GPU market, but they are also diverse investors. They seek participation in influential AI companies, irrespective of the primary hardware being used currently. It's a way of diversifying their involvement and observing future trends firsthand.
Okay, so SSI is reportedly valued at a significant figure, around $32 billion recently, even without a product, compared to OpenAI or Anthropic, who are releasing things. What does that valuation convey?
It suggests several aspects. Firstly, the confidence placed in Ilya Sutskever's vision and his team. He is a recognized figure in the field. Secondly, it indicates the perceived importance of achieving safer superintelligence, which many regard as a paramount, perhaps fundamental, challenge in AI. And thirdly, it mirrors the strategic value of those compute partnerships. Access to that caliber of hardware is currently very valuable.
It's an investment in a long-term goal, and an investment in addressing a particularly difficult challenge.
That's right. And it highlights this emerging difference in the AI environment. You have organizations focused on swift product rollout and expanding existing models, and you have organizations like SSI singularly focused on the longer-term core challenge of building something both safe and highly intelligent. It feels like pursuing a new significant objective, as Ilya described it.
That adjustment in focus is certainly something to monitor. It shifts the conversation from who developed the most effective conversational AI to who is establishing the safety criteria for the distant future.
Definitely. And it also prompts discussion about different hardware architectures. It's not solely about Nvidia at the forefront anymore. Google is advancing TPUs. Amazon is advancing Trainium. We might observe more specialization in AI hardware tailored to specific tasks,
which, at the very least, could be beneficial for competition in the chip sector. We hope. This has been quite informative, Mark. Thank you for clarifying the details on TPUs and the strategic investment perspective.
Anytime, Jenny. It is certainly an interesting period in AI at present. Many interconnected elements.
It truly is. And we'll continue to monitor SSI and these significant moves for you. That concludes this episode.
We'll connect with you next time.